Hey, welcome in. Today we're talking about wealth classes. As we know, there are three, basically three wealth classes: lower class, middle class, and upper class. We'll try to uncover and understand their mindset and how that mindset is conditioned and how they affect the society we live in. Just to be clear, I am talking about this topic from the perspective of my region. If you don't know, I am from South Asia. I guess more or less it applies to all the countries in this region. So if you are from somewhere from Europe or America or somewhere else, this video might not apply for the place you live in. That being said, let's get to the video. We'll start off with lower class space. What's the definition of a person living in lower class? How do we differentiate a lower class person from the other? I guess there are official definitions based on how much you earn monthly or annually, but we are not using that. We are not using that for this video. My definition of a lower class person is someone who neither able to fulfill his needs or wants properly. Now, where do we see lower class people in general? Okay, let's just reveal my country. I live in a South Asian country named Bangladesh. I guess the best place to find and observe lower class people is working spaces. Garments, mills. These are pretty common in our country, and I had the opportunity to observe garments and also printing mill workers closely. Naturally, I do have some personal observations on them based on that. So, one of the core aspects of lower class space, lower class people is their mindset. Their mindset is very low. Their standard is very low. It's not like they are born like this, they are conditioned like this. How do I explain it? Yeah. One of the things I have noticed among them is cursing. They curse a lot. They curse in very bad manner. I guess manner is not among their concern at all, unless it's someone who have some sort of power or influence over them. They are with someone they're supposed to respect, or maybe someone outside of their space. It's not always the case that the respect necessary because there's someone not among them, but more often than not it can happen. I have actually seen them cursing in very bad manner to each other. and it's very normal to them. It's not necessarily fun, because fun would be something you wouldn't do often. You wouldn't do that frequently. Cursing is literally a norm to them. And what could be the effect of cursing on a child growing up inside an environment like that? The fact that he/she is a lower class person would naturally get embedded inside his head, inside him psychologically. That's the psychological part of it. Now, if we get into the financial and logistical part, a kid who born in a lower class family, parents wouldn't provide neither of his needs or wants. That's how he will grow up. It's actually almost obvious that he would get into some sort of work, It's not any kind of work. It would be physical, or it would be certainly physical work from my country's perspective. So he gets into, let's say, garments or some sort of mill. He works hard from a very young age, yet starting from that age he wouldn't get paid fairly. Let's just be honest here. A lower class person never gets paid fairly. We'll talk about that more later. But keeping that in mind, it never gets paid fairly. And their parents never provides their needs or wants enough. It's very hard for them to do something to get out of that class more than any other class, and they hardly feel secured enough to go against the unfairness they face day in day out. It's almost granted that they will born like that and die like that. Now then, let's talk about the middle class space for a bit. One of the core aspects of a middle class person is their concern and super fixation on needs. You won't often see a middle class person to be concerned about what he wants. It's more true for a middle class parent who is running a family financially and logistically. A kid who's born in a middle class family, he will see his parents not providing, not fulfilling his wants. He is fulfilling his needs only. I wouldn't attach the word incapable to a middle class parent as I have done with a lower class parent. Is because they are capable, but just the mindset of a middle class person is doing enough, earning and gaining enough. That's their core mindset they operate on. The respect of middle class space is their importance on education and what education brings. Not necessarily it brings certainly, but what education's supposed to bring from Bangladesh's point of view. Education in our country promises a safe and stable career. Safety is another concern for a middle class person. It's a big concern. The reason why they care so much about their needs is due to the fact that they want to feel safe. For whatever reason, in order to gain something more than what we need, we gotta take risk that isn't present in the character of a middle class person, of a typical middle class person. The last thing I have noticed about the middle class space in our country is their emphasis, their deep emphasis on either religion, tradition, or culture. They need something outside of the system that make them feel safe and secured. Religion, tradition, and culture does that very well. Even if some people don't agree with it, one of the core purpose of religion, tradition, and culture is making people feel safe when things aren't going well and things don't go well for a middle class person always. An upper class person would get defined by his ability to comfortably fulfill both of his needs and wants. Now let's talk about the stereotypes a bit. What these stereotypes regarding the upper class space? One of the things that gets complained about them is they most of them are so greedy. I would say that's true in my experience. To be able to earn more than you need to possess greed to some extent. They don't see money as a tool. They see money as a jewelry. Usually a upper class person has a deep need, strong need for respect and also power. Was the one thing that brings respect from people and power over people is money. That's why they have the this drive for earning more and more. Which can make them seem as greedy. And not to mention they are willing to do anything to get what they want. Pragmatism is attached deeply into upper class space and it's basically whatever works. It works for them and they will take it. Which is the reason why they do unfair to the lower class people. As I have talked about the lower class space, they have been struggling and they will be struggling throughout their life. all they want is just enough to live a life. That's why it's so easy for the upper class to do unfair to lower class space, and still it's not like they are doing once or twice. They would keep doing it throughout their life. It would seem okay for the upper class space for their characterlessness, and for the lower class space they just go with it because, you know, there's this hypocritical element to every upper class person. They like to own a lot while doing the least. They make the most while doing the least. And the reason why they are able to do that is because there's a class of people whom are perfectly conditioned to play the role of tool or get scapegoated if it becomes a necessity. If you like this video though, subscribe, like, and comment if you have any thoughts. Take care.